All right, we have gone live on the YouTube and we should be live there. Welcome everyone to the first presentation of the North American Wartable Warmachine Leagues feature match for December. This is a new thing that we're going to be doing weekly throughout the remainder of this year and hopefully all of next year as we continue to grow and show our wonderful Warmachine sport as we try to make this, something that's fun to watch and have some fun. So we have a great feature match for you today. We have Travis Marg and Andy Bev, each playing on a map that we affectionately call a rock and a hard place. This particular map is pretty significant, and you should be seeing that on your screen now for the YouTubers. For those in the watch party, unfortunately, I can't make that happen. But if you're on the YouTube, you'll see the map itself, as well as you'll see it on the screen in the YouTube. But we talk about this map quite a bit. It's really dominated by the three mountains. The mountains create some natural chokes that are highly defensible, particularly for the player that takes the northern side of the map. The southern side of the map have some pretty solid angles of attack on the left side, as well as greater access to range reduction with with two of the three Dust Devils being on more of the southern portion of the map and a more relevant hill on the right-hand side. But overall, very defensible map. We are playing Recon 1 today, or Recon Mark 4. Pretty slow scenario, although this table is a little more alive within it than what you would initially think. Again, because the natural chokes really does force some of the action, and the attritional grinds here tend to be pretty intensive. So we'll get back over to our game here as the players are getting started to set up. I want to go ahead and introduce my co-host for today, Eric Akers, renowned Orgoth player who has also dabbled pretty mightily with Brinebloods. Go ahead and introduce yourself here, Akers. Akers, you there?
Sorry about that. I had muted myself and didn't even realize it.
No worries.
Technical difficulties, but yeah, I'm excited to be here as well. I mean, both these players are very well, accomplished players. I know this is Travis's first time playing in the league. Hopefully, it's first of many. And obviously, Andy's definitely one of our mainstays here. He's played in quite a few, as far as I can remember, and always finishes well at the top as well. So this should be a pretty good matchup between both these guys.
Yeah, very, very strong players. I know you had an opportunity to kind of have a bit of a pregame interview with each. What's kind of the sense of the matchup from Andy and Travis?
Yeah, so I did talk. I said talk to Travis, and he is looking basically. Like I said, he's. I don't know if this has changed or not, but we had a discussion. He's looking at potentially dropping Nikane into Andy here. He said that's more of a comfort pick for him, where he's played more games with him,
Hmm.
with her, and then looks like he's going right for the McCain button here potentially.
Yep.
He said he feels pretty comfortable that she can potentially assassinate Andy and play a pretty comfortable game into the Abyssal King as well. Yeah, it looks like they were just selected, and yeah, it's kind of
Yep.
what we expected. Shadow Tongue and Kane.
Kane.
Both of them are going to be gunning for the head of the snake, so to speak. Where I think both of them have the assassination potential game plan here. It's going to be a little harder for Andy to get to Nikane just because you have the potential of Banshee Ward onto
Hmm.
Nikane, whereas Shadow Tongue doesn't have that luxury. But
But
I do not. Oh, go ahead.
but Shadow Tongue brings Ghost Walk with him, doesn't he? And that gives some map flexibility
Oh
in
yes.
what is otherwise a very contained scenario if you don't have the ability to ignore those mountains. But both players having access to Ghost Walk is something to watch in this
Yeah,
match.
both players having access to Ghost Walk, plus obviously the Travis has plenty of access to incorporeal models as well.
Yes.
So both of them are going to be able to leverage the obstruction pretty nicely in the middle of the table.
Yeah. Map selection here. Which way do you think the players go? As we don't have a roll off yet, but
I would assume that Travis is going to want to go first,
mhm,
regardless here, and put pressure on Shadow Tongue early. And just by given how the table's set up, I believe Andy probably, now that he has selected Shadow Tongue, probably takes bottom
mhm.
just because the other Dust Devil is a little more central, not going to be as usable on Travis's side, and the bottom gives more flexibility for the Mountain King. I'm sorry, the Bissell King to maneuver. Because obviously topside with the double obstruction on the right makes it real hard for the Bissell King to get through there minus the Ghost Walk, but also like landing spots potentially with the two object with a cache and the objective also make it hard to find good effective landing spots for the Bissell King.
Yeah, that's excellent points that you're bringing up here in regards to that. Now, as for flag placement, I know generally on this map configuration, we've been seeing folks grab the forest if you have the northern camp, and in the southern camp, you grab that trench. Any thought or consideration to grabbing the mountain on the left-hand side if you're the southern player?
Uh, it is definitely a possibility. I mean, if Travis takes the bottom, I don't think that that would be something he would be looked to doing because obviously Andy's got access to Pig Boarding Party, which we ambushing them on the side of the table there and immediately being able to contest that. Definitely seems rough where you'd want to have your objective piece of terrain more centralized, so it's much harder for those ambushing models to come in off the side of the table edge. Um, so I would look to see that it's probably going to be like we talked about before, the trench and the forest as the objective piece to train. But it's also possible that uh, Andy could take, if he does take bottom, to possibly put that objective there on the lower side, just for that same reason, where he could ambush in and immediately contest or potentially score that as well. And it may put a little pressure on Travis to respond to that, and it may be harder for him to get his unit into that space where the table edge and the obstruction kind of block a lot of good landing spots.
No, that's excellent points there. And key consideration anytime you're looking at the map is looking at what the options give you on the table, depending on which camp you either are given based on your opponent's selection, or if you have the role, um, understanding whether it's better to take space early and go first, or if you don't need the space and you need the actual board selection more. So it always goes back to that standard Magic concept of who is the beatdown.
Wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Yes.
Okay.
So it looks like
Looks
have
like
they started deploying yet? Looks like the stream is
they
frozen on my end.
have his stream is frozen. Let me just jump out of it and see if that fixes it on my end or if he's crashed out on that side, because it could be a me thing or it could be a him thing.
We're always going to have a few technical difficulties in the first game of the inaugural you know league for the broadcast.
Yep. Back here.
Oh yeah, dominoes. There we go.
All right. So we've got ads, which is great. So let's see if we get things working again. Always fun. Okay.
Let's see here. Who actually won the roll? Looks like Andy won the roll,
Okay.
and he opted to go second.
Okay.
So, what do we know? He took topside.
He took
Even more interesting.
curiouser
How
and
about that?
curiouser.
Yeah.
So let me just
So,
jump. I'm gonna jump out of Travis's screen entirely and just go to the link.
yeah, that's where I'm at right now too.
All right. So give me a moment here
Yeah.
while
So it
we
looks like
correct.
Andy won the roll, opted to go second, and he's putting the Abyssal King on the right side of the table. He looks to be trying to either potentially move that king through that narrow passage of the two obstructions, which, or he could be trying to leverage that as nudge wedge the Abyssal King in there to kind of take up potential landing space again from models being able to attack the king. If he's able to block, obviously, avenues of attack there with that. So that may be what he's trying for, and then or also just playing more defensively with the terrain, because the terrain on the top is definitely better suited for Shadow Tongue, where you have that wall to hide behind, or even that obstruction to hide behind as well. So it's harder to get for Nicane to get good angles on Shadow Tongue.
Yep. Can you shoot me the link because I'm having trouble finding it?
Yeah, I can shoot you the link.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
And again, we'll jump right into the action here, guys, and we'll be able to see it here in just a second. So